Hello, my name is Sophie Smith, and I'm here today to talk to you about connecting meaningful instruction and assessment procedures using the backwards design model. There are 3 stages in the backwards design model. Stage 1, identifying desired results, where we establish our goals, find our big ideas, and create essential questions that will stimulate inquiry. Stage 2 is where we determine acceptable evidence. What is the evidence of our understanding? What criteria will be used to assess their work? And how will these assessments indicate understanding? And stage 3 is where we plan learning experiences and instruction, where we ask ourselves what instructional practices will help learners achieve the understanding intended. What is backwards design? It's a framework for curriculum planning, for assessment design, and ultimately for teaching, with a goal of teaching for understanding and transfer. It starts by establishing the outcomes of a unit. What do we expect them to learn, and how are we going to get them to achieve the standards? Next, it goes into the assessments. How do we expect them to evidence their understanding? And lastly, we design the lessons that will get them to the understanding evidenced on assessments. There are 4 big ideas of backwards design. First, backwards design, it requires that plans are aligned with content standards and state standards. Without this alignment, plans are ineffective, aimless, and waste valuable instructional time. Second, we're looking for them to transfer their understanding as the main goal of the unit. Only when students can transfer their understanding to unfamiliar situations is there true understanding. Without this ability to apply their learning, our lessons and units have failed. Third, understanding via a big idea. Students need to make connections to the learning. Without these valuable connections, they can't establish greater meaning, and therefore fragmented learning happens. When fragmented learning occurs, it's meaningless to them, and information is posed is often forgotten and passed by as useless. Only meaningful learning opportunities really motivate and engage students. No one is interested in sitting and listening to someone drone on about an idea. Students need to be meaningfully engaged in the task and made to understand its importance in the big scheme of life. Well-aligned plans are really the only way to effectively attain meaningful learning opportunities. Why is backwards design the way to go? Well, it provides a framework to intentionalize and guide classroom instruction and assessment procedures that increase student understanding and evidence through creativity, problem solving, and deep critical thinking. Like I'd said before, there are 3 stages of backwards design. Stage 1 is where we establish our desired results. What do we really want our students to know, understand, and be able to do? Stage 2 is where we design the assessments that allow students to show their understanding or skills. We need to ask ourselves in this design process, what evidence will indicate to our students, or indicate that our students know what we want them to know? And lastly, stage 3, our learning plan, is where we design the lessons that go along with the daily routines. What will we do in our classroom to help the students understand or attain the understanding that we want them to? Backwards design helps create more meaningful and intentional assessments because they force the creators to think like an assessor. They focus their attention to make sure assessments actually prompt students to engage in situations where evidence of their understanding is prevalent. It also encourages assessors to collect evidence portfolios of understanding, meaning they should have more than one and varied kinds of opportunities for students to show their understanding. As a test creator, you need to be inquisitive about how you will know the students have attained understanding. This should be evidenced through authentic assessment tasks that are judged on criteria designed to evidence desired results. Another component of backwards design that ensures success is a reflection and self-assessment piece that allows students to maintain control over their understanding. This is an example of a backwards design lesson plan that I wrote for my own classroom. I began the planning process by articulating the content standards that I needed to target in the unit, and from there I decomposed the standards into specific questions, skills, understanding, and knowledge that I wanted the students to acquire. This is stage 1 and an important step to effectively articulating the evidence you are looking for as a result of your assessment. Stage 2 is the actual assessment piece. This is the stage in which you are designing the different opportunities and activities you will use to judge student understanding. The power of backwards design is extremely prevalent in this stage, and due to the nature of design, these assessments are made with the exact objectives in mind. Assessors have already determined what skills, understanding, and knowledge they want to see. Now they must design tasks to assess each of these. Tasks can range from projects to exit tickets, prompts to classroom discourse, or traditional pen and paper tests and quizzes. Stage 3 is the final step and what teachers often start with in the actual lesson plans and activities. Each of these should be designed with the where-to model in mind, ensuring that they are targeted to the needs of the unit, assessment, and individual students. Thank you so much for joining me in this presentation. I hope you enjoyed it.